Hello everyone, Pepper Hernandez from drpepperhernandez.com, coming to you, reading you the affirmations for the chakras. And if you have been joining us all along, then you know you can go to drpepperhernandez.com to join in on the groups to do the full series, which is a 7-week series of each and every chakra, and you get all of the information that's much more extensive than this because they're each 2 hours long, at least, some of them much longer. And we have tons and tons of information on each one of them, plus links and all sorts of cool stuff. Today, we are coming to you reading you the third eye affirmations, which I love so very much. This is probably one of my favorites. I mean, they're all really great and they all lead up to this one. And I'm a Pisces, and so I'm a little bit more in the higher vibrational frequency, and I have to ground myself very much so on a pretty much continuous day basis. And so I have to work on the root, but the root works a lot with the third eye because once they're balanced, then everything else in between kind of balances. Actually, the heart chakra is the one that once you balance that, everything kind of like click, 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 comes into alignment. It's like each and every chakra, it's energy patterns, right? It's energy forms. So if every chakra is rotating the way they're supposed to, then the other one will rotate. It's kind of like gears of a bike. And if this one's going this way, then this one, like it just kind of does that, which is really amazing. So let's work with the third eye and see what we're going to find here. Now, I suggest that you journal because things that come up for you, really we're reading these as questions. And so the things that are coming up for you, you want to journal, you want to get out, you want to recognize, you want to understand from the logical perspective of your brain, but you don't want to go into too much because you don't want to dig into more grooves into your brain, like the neuroplasticity thing, right? We would just want to recognize that, we want to honor them, and then we want to understand how to clear them and move past them. And the way that we do that is you can go over to the affirmations that are more on audio form, and they just loop over and over again through like a type of hypnosis. And you can do that while you're going to bed or while you're waking up, or both. So let's get started. I think positive thoughts about myself and everything around me, including everyone around you, right? This kind of links back to our 4 agreements and not taking things personal, not assuming things, and so on and so on. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that positive thoughts about yourself and everything around you? Sometimes that's a harder one. Maybe we've mastered it, maybe we haven't. And so just write the things that come up for you around that, okay? There's no need to try to hammer this one in just yet. We want to find out what the obstacles are, what the challenges are, what the thought processes and patterns that we've been creating as our reality. We want to understand what those are and how to delete them. And the way that you delete them is that you write about them, you give them a consciousness of sorts, you recognize where they came from, and then you recognize that they no longer serve you in this present moment, because most of that stuff is from your past. I open myself to my intuition and my deepest knowing. My deepest knowing, no matter what the reality around me is showing, because everything that's in our reality is simply a projection of our internal being, right? And the thoughts and the processes and, you know, the scars and the traumas and everything that we have going on is all projected on our outside. So if you look around and your life is fantastic and it's amazing and you can be happy and satisfied with that, you've done some really amazing work, either in this lifetime or another one, if you believe in those things. If you're having some hard times or some troubles, maybe that's a good place to go inwards and do some meditation or do, you know, a retreat where you're just like with yourself. Now, there are lots of things that happen to people, and I'm not saying that all of those things are, you know, because of what you're thinking. It's how you deal with those situations that is your kind of foundation, firm grounding, because we all go through things. It's how we deal with them and what our self-talk is, and if we're kind to ourselves while we're going through them, right? It's like the guru in the waterfall. The guru walks through the waterfall, feels every single tiny like element of water in every single cell of their body, but then when they're through it, somehow they are in their next moment, feeling air and seeing the birds and whatnot. So So let's move on to the next one. I acknowledge I am a source in creating my life. Creating my life now in this present moment. So what's happened before now, maybe other people have been huge influences in that. But what's happening right now in this present moment, you can create a positive, healthy life. And maybe that's just your mind, just tuning in with how you perceive things. And if you can find the positive or the good in whatever it is. And that can be hard sometimes. And I recognize that. So I'm just encouraging you to do the best that you possibly can. I accept that I am an unlimited being and have power to create anything that I want. This one's a fun one. And when you can get really, really, really into that, everything's magical. Think of all these people that do really huge, huge things for the world and for mankind. I mean, they must have really mastered that one, right? That's a good one. I focus on what I love and I draw it to me every moment of every day. Whew. If we could all think that all the time, that would be incredible. So try to find more things that you love and draw those to you. Even if that's just walking around your house right now and looking at the things that you love for 30 seconds or setting a timer for 2 minutes and dreaming of all the things that you love. And that's a good start. I release all my blocks I release all that block my growth and development. How do you feel about that one? Are you ready to do that? Because there may be some things that you're attached to that are actually blocking your growth and development. And the way that you can figure that out is if you're spending a lot of mental time on it, or if it's hurting you, or if it's not positive for you, right? I am open to new ideas, new people, new situations that will enhance my joy and happiness. I like this one because it's always nice to meet new people or to get introduced or have new ideas. I mean, that is growth. That's amazing. And the chances of that increasing your happiness and joy is probably pretty high. I live in the truth of my grace, my beauty, and my intelligence. What do you think about that one? Journal if anything's coming up for you. You know, I talk a lot in between them about my own personal experiences or what I believe that maybe could vibrate with you because of my own personal experiences with clients, but you write your own. I am responsible for the quality of love and happiness in my life. This one's strong. This one's very much related to the solar chakra. Because do you feel worthy of having a particular lifestyle or happiness? And do you feel worthy of having the love that you want from others or that you want from yourself? I rethink all negative thoughts about myself and others and change them into positive energy. This one is fun because the moment you think a negative thought about yourself or think about someone else, can you change that into a positive? Now, this is a practice of years on its own, just in one affirmation. But if you're vibrating with it and you can change all the thoughts that you have into positive, that would be great. That would be absolutely amazing. So let's try that. And the last one for the third eye is I create clarity and unlimited vision for myself about my life. And this one's a fun one where you can get to it and you really feel it. You're like, yeah, I can create clarity and unlimited vision for myself about my life. And this is where you can do vision boarding and you can just trust, you can just give it over to the universe and say, I trust that this is coming. I don't know how, I don't know when, and it doesn't matter, but I know it will. And then feel that frequency, feel that vibrational frequency of that happening for you, and it's gonna come in a lot quicker. So I hope you've enjoyed these. Pepper Hernandez from drpepperhernandez.com. If you want the PDF, if you want, can you see this? If If you want something like that, a print off of that, you can go over to the drpepperhernandez.com and look for the PDF and find it. Or if you're part of the classes, that's part of your Google Classroom. So have a beautiful, magical, wonderful day, and let's make this your very best life ever, because why not? We have so many options and opportunities to get us into alignment this time, this lifetime, right now, in this moment. We can do it. And so I invite you to do that. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.